Bom dia! We're glad you're here. Finding the best place for your next adventure, whether that is retirement, semi-retirement, or maybe a nomad travel lifestyle. If you are young and in the last group, then we are jealous. And if you are young and in the first group, we are truly impressed and seriously jealous. But many, like us, spend their entire lives following the traditional paths, and one day we wake up and know it's just time to figure out and make the next dream adventure come true. For years, we just knew that we'd be working until we died or something close to it. Then we decided we could afford a trailer in Florida. Hell, maybe even in the villages. Today, we want to show you some budget-friendly options in Europe that may help you understand that you do deserve and can create that next adventure in life. You have time to make the changes in your life. Portugal and Greece exposed. Let's compare. Welcome to the epic saga of breaking free from the mundane and embarking on a retirement journey that rivals any. If you've ever dreamt of retiring in style, sipping coffee in a charming European cafe, or exploring historic wonders without breaking the bank, then you're in for a treat. We are shopping these days for locations that will allow for a cost-effective, next great adventure in Europe, of course. In case you are new to our channel, I'm Alan. My wife Leslie, son Wolf, and I brought our pets and set out on one of the most rewarding adventures of our lives. We are from the Midwest in the United States and now live on the beautiful island of Madeira, Portugal. We hope you will find our journey helpful as you work to navigate your own. It'll be fun. Vai ser divertido. When we started our journey, one of the first things we had to contend with was finding a place that we could afford. I know that doesn't sound like fun, but by truly understanding our budget, we were able to zero in and eliminate many places in the world. Interestingly, we knew that we'd never be able to afford to move to Europe, because as Americans, we all know that it's a much more expensive area of the world to live in. So, you will know right now, this is not true. Before we get too far, we want to remind you that we are viewer supported and would like to ask you for your support today by giving us a thumbs up, subscribing, and hitting the bell. Now, I was a mechanic and therefore liked to drive, and Leslie, a horticulturist, so exploring gardens, spending time in nature, taking walks and hikes were on the top of her list. So, just by looking at the simple things, the field narrows. We needed cost-effective, wonderful drives, walks, gardens, and peacefulness. Now, if that is all we wanted, we could have retired to Richmond, Kentucky. However, remember, adventure, new culture, history, and food. It took us years to finally realize that our retirement was going to be outside of our home country, which was the United States. And when we first started looking outside the USA, we really thought we were going to move south to Costa Rica, Ecuador, or maybe Panama. But while on a visit to Spain, we started looking at real estate, simply because we always house hunt when we go anywhere. This is when we started to understand that there were affordable locations throughout Europe as well. Did you know that Portugal and Greece are both well worth taking a look at? And yes, just like in the USA, the housing prices have gone up sky high, but they still can be affordable. When searching for your next place, the main drivers for most people are quality of life, cost of living, housing, quality affordable healthcare, safety, cultural experiences, welcoming people, visa availability, and taxes. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Your support is truly appreciated. This helps us to create our videos. If you enjoy our videos, we invite you to join our Patreon community. Quality of life. This one is open to interpretation, but for us, we needed to be able to envision ourselves creating a new life at the level we dreamt of. We wanted to be able to have simple things like fresh foods, shops we could walk to, and not need to drive everywhere. Being able to afford to eat out or sit in a cafe and watch people a few times a week was really important. We wanted to be able to go on long walks in nature. Feel safe and welcome. afford to be able to go to the doctor, maybe even have preventative care and not worry about hidden bills that would arrive over the next 2 months. Happiness. We wanted simple things. We can tell you that we found it, and we want you to find yours too. This opportunity has given us so much more than we had hoped for. Cost of living. For us, we needed to reduce our cost of living drastically if we were going to retire. That meant finding a place where we could live for 40 to 50% less, which meant downsizing our home and experiencing something new. We had lived in Portugal on the island of Madeira for the last 2 years, and our monthly cost, including rent, averages about 2,700 euros a month for a couple. There are many other locations in Portugal where you can greatly reduce even this cost. If you want to see our cost breakdown and see what we are spending our money on, go to our latest cost of living video. We will link it at the end. So, what about Greece? The average cost of living in Greece comes in at a whopping 7% lower than the average cost of living in Portugal. The main saving in Greece is actually housing. An important detail for us was to ensure that we would be able to legally purchase and own a property in the country that we are moving to. Now, that didn't mean we were going to buy right away. We just wanted to ensure that we could purchase when we were ready. Then, of course, we needed to understand the cost of renting and the cost per square meter to purchase in the area that we chose to live. Since we all know the housing prices have gone sky high around the world, this one may seem a little bit odd, but one of the first issues we had is that we'd hear someone say that you could rent a 2-bedroom apartment for less than 1,000 euros a month. What does that mean? Is it located in a safe area? Can we walk to a cafe or store? What does it look like inside? I mean, really, what's wrong with it? Well, we discovered that the housing here in Madeira is just like what you would expect in the US. Now, we do not have air conditioning or heating, but we really don't need it. The rental properties we viewed in Greece are actually as much as 40% lower than in Portugal. However, their difference in savings will be made up in the cost of goods and utilities. To purchase on Crete, the prices were about 10% lower than here on the island of Madeira. As with everything, it just depends on where you're shopping and what your needs are. If you are planning your journey, please download a copy of our free Moving Abroad Planning Checklist at www.it'llbefunretirement.com and sign up for our free newsletter while you're there. Did you know that the healthcare quality we have found in Portugal is just as good as any that we had in the USA? Even better if you add in the fact that we can afford to have healthcare. We have both public care and private health insurance here in Portugal and can actually go to the doctor without worrying about receiving a never-ending stream of bills after we leave. We go to the doctor for 18 euros. We pay 4 or 5 euros for prescriptions. We have all kinds of tests run and never spend more than 15 euros. Our private insurance cost is less than 300 euros a month, and that has 250 euro yearly deductible. That's it. We are covered. We now can actually think about having preventative care. Amazing. The healthcare system in Greece has both public and private systems. The public system in Greece does not rank as high as the one in Portugal, and it is recommended that you purchase private insurance. This is what we've done in Portugal, and in Greece it's just as affordable. The public system facilities can be old and the waits long, so with a little pre-planning and patience, everything can be worked out. Safety. Now this one is important, especially if you are a retiree. We all want to ensure that we will be safe, but as we age, it's even more of a priority. According to the Global Peace Index, both Portugal and Greece rank much higher on the safety scales than the USA. Here's the numbers. Portugal is hands down a win at number 6 on the list. Greece comes in at number 53, and the USA rolls in at a lovely 129. If you are from the USA, you're probably thinking, but wait, I feel safe. We know that is how we felt. So if this shocks you, maybe you will feel better to know that North Korea comes in at number 152. Experiences, cultural, and outdoors. Remember at the beginning, I said many of us have cultural experiences listed as a big part of the new adventure. These experiences will be a huge factor in how you feel about the quality of life you are creating. They are really subjective. Because we all know Greece is filled with all kinds of fantastic archaeological sites to visit, and even though there are plenty in Portugal, they probably win. Now, because of all the tourism and pickpockets, you will not want to live near them. But you could in Portugal. It really is safe. What else? Think of gardens, walks, and hikes. Wow, that would be hard to choose between the two. So what about Madeira versus Crete? Well, we can walk on a lot of beautiful beaches in Crete, stick our toes in the sand, and take a dip in the water. But you can't walk the levadas and marvel at the mountains, cliffs, and ocean like you can here in Madeira. Our conclusion? Do both. Live in one, and since you can travel to Europe cost effectively, visit the other. Visa availability and taxes. Yuck. Both Portugal and Greece offer simple, easy to apply for retirement visas, such as the D7 in Portugal and the Visa D in Greece. The requirements are very similar and not a deal breaker for either country. Greece does still have the Golden Visa that includes property purchase, where the Golden Visa in Portugal no longer includes property purchases. We have separate videos that we will link on these subjects. Taxes. Well, this is where you want to have a tax attorney in the country that you're looking at to review your income so you will truly understand what you qualify for and have an estimate of your potential tax burden. If you are from the USA, you will also want to speak with a U.S. expat tax accountant in order to understand the deductions you qualify for, in order to ensure that you are not being double taxed and are taking advantage of the programs available in the U.S. Lastly, how to compare the food and the people. The people we have met here in Portugal have been truly amazing, friendly, welcoming, and helpful. They really are open to meeting new people, and many of them have traveled the globe themselves. The Portuguese tend to immigrate all over the world and then come back as they age, or even generations later. It's fun. Now, the people we've met in Greece were fun and wonderful as well. We truly enjoyed our time talking to them and learning about their lives. As for the food, in both countries it is fantastic. We recommend that you just walk in and order the local dish. You cannot go wrong. Remember, life is short. Don't wait, and it can be done on a budget. Let us know what we can help you with. For example, planning your journey from the scouting trip through getting settled. Join us on Patreon, where you can make new friends and we can all learn together. Don't forget to pick up your free Moving Abroad planning checklist at www.it'llbefunretirement.com. We hope you continue to come along with us on our new adventure. Life is short. We should have done this sooner. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to help us grow. The next stage in your life is a journey.